banter.
Yeah, I know. I should have.
I
Whatever
know.
you do,
done it
don't do
first.
this. One
Always
would do.
does that. Always
Okay,
does that.
okay, Nixon, erase those tapes. No loss.
Yes. So Cowie goes first, right?
Harry goes
No, I
first.
said
Callie
I
goes
didn't.
first.
I
I
can't.
know.
I have no comments.
No
What?
comments.
You said
No
you love Tom Bombadil.
All right,
Don't
so
say
I
you
kick
have
That
no
was
Callie
my
out.
comments.
comment. I love
her out.
Tom.
That's
Shut
duly
up.
noted in the notes already.
Also,
Oh,
I've
wait,
been told that elves are not fairies.
that's true.
They're
I've
just
been
lighting
told
the
that
loafers.
too.
Elves are not fairies.
Yeah.
I think there's sort of mystical, magical BS is going on there. Because they
What?
glow, right? When they walk in the middle of the
I
forest.
thought they were angels.
No, I think that's Gandalf and the wizards.
In my
Okay,
opinion.
let's get
Fairies
back
are
on track. I don't
blue.
understand
Okay.
why Cowie's putting things off track here.
I didn't say anything off track. I just said that elves are elves and fairies are fairies. So I have
I'm with
nothing to
that.
say.
I will go with that. Elves are just another
Moving
race
on.
in Middle Earth.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. Council of Elrond. They've
Council of
chit-chatted.
Elrond.
Frodo caved and he didn't understand the assignment and he came away from the meeting with an assignment. And so
He raised his hand.
he raised his hand, which is what you don't do when you're in a meeting, right, everybody? You don't
Uh-huh.
volunteer for any jobs in the meeting.
That's correct.
You fell for the
But
classic
Frodo-
step back.
But Frodo is already addicted to the ring. So was it really generosity on his part that he says he's going to keep the ring? Like, did he think he was going to walk away from it? Or is it just...
That was an interesting point.
Wow, that's a little
Yeah, that's
dark.
actually a
Frodo
point.
being
I-
addicted to the
That's-
ring? No, I thought Frodo was like really heroic. He was like, oh,
Oh.
And Tom
Uncle
Bombadil
gave
was a
me
good
this
artist.
ring. It's a burden,
No.
and now I have to. Now
That's
I
one
have
of
to
the one of
go.
the theories of the ring. Like he put the ring on at the prancing pony because he was fooling around with it and it slipped on.
He hasn't put it on yet.
He put it on at the
That's
Prancing
exactly what
Pony.
we're saying. That's a theory that the power of the ring is slowly taking over.
He put
He
it
did put it
on
on.
at Weathertop.
At
Weathertop.
Weathertop.
And Weathertop.
Oh, at Weathertop. Yeah, you're right. You guys are right.
And
the
it fell
prancing
on his
pony.
finger at the Prancing
He started to
Pony.
question his
Prancing
actions
Pony, good
regarding
point.
the ring
Yeah.
as whether he's doing a free will
Right.
or maybe not.
So you're saying-
because the ring wants to get back to Sauron.
Right.
It's doing
Right.
everything.
I think there's a little bit of both. I think there's
Yeah.
definitely still, how the hobbits are really portrayed as a, inherent to being a hobbit, to the race of hobbits, is this sort of like
Hardiness.
hidden, courage, right? And boldness
They
that
just
you
do
don't
the
see
job.
from them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think
That
what
was
you're
my
saying
take.
definitely is part of it. It's
Yeah.
already affecting him. They say that, anytime he interacts with it, Tolkien writes about, really how it sort of, affects him, how he feels feels differently about the ring. So I think there's definitely something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, look around, stuck around with Gollum. So they finally figured out, I'm not getting out of here. Like, here's the Bilbo Baggins. Let's hop on the Bilbo train and get the hell out of here.
You know, first little hobbit that comes along,
Yeah.
the ring ditches
First little
Gollum.
hobbit.
First thing anybody comes along, I'm gone, man.
So
Not
you're
even-
saying there's a little bit of like the reason he went on the
Yes.
quest is because he didn't want to give up the ring.
Interesting.
Yes.
Or maybe
Interesting.
inadvertently. It's
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't feel that way.
You don't? What do you got, Steve?
No, in reading that, I felt it from beginning to end of that scene, reading through that he was doing it because it's a job that needed to be done. He did it this far and he thought that was the end of the job, but he finds out there's more to the job
Exactly.
and it needs to be done. So
All
I
right.
guess I'm going to do it.
Sure.
What do you
I
what,
thought
do
it
you,
was pure volunteerism.
what do you think about Bilbo? Maybe he was protecting Bilbo because Bilbo wanted to go.
No,
Doesn't Bilbo
nobody was going to
volunteer?
let Bilbo go.
No.
Nobody's gonna let Bilbo
Bilbo's
go.
wolf.
Yeah, no one's gonna let what he wanted to though.
Yeah. So was it like if,
That has a little bit to do with it, but
if Bilbo can't make it,
well,
then I gotta
my point was that he saw that everybody was arguing
yeah.
and it was causing such strife already. He was okay, I guess I'll do it, even though I don't know how to do it or if I'm
Right.
gonna do it.
I feel
So
like
again,
I feel like Frodo sort of temperamentally is a peacemaker. And so I sort of felt like the reason why he stepped up in the middle of the council at Elrond was because, as was mentioned, there was a lot of strife. And he
Yeah,
was
this thing's
like,
going off the rails and I can fix it.
But not I can fix it, but I have the ring. It's my responsibility
yeah.
because my uncle took it. And now, I don't want to do this. I thought why can't we just leave it here? Galadriel can protect it, but shoot, I'll do it. I didn't, that's interesting take that the ring is exerting itself on him. I like that. I never really thought about that.
I mean, it makes sense if the ring is so powerful that it can do that.
Yeah,
And
I
so
read
why
that.
why wouldn't it do it early? Why get its toes or fingers into him, right?
Or
Theoretically.
I kind of
Or-
like the idea that you guys have been saying is like the ring is causing strife in the council already,
Oh,
right? So like in the same way in the movie they captured this by showing the reflection in the ring of everybody arguing. So the ring is already creating strife. And if you go with that route of it, then Frodo is stepping up, being the peacemaker, being, the low key hero, saying, fine, I'll do it. This is going to break everybody apart. I've already got it. I'll do it. So that's a good take too.
I love all of these interpretations, but my only pushback is Tolkien seems to be so in love with the hobbits, and he always will explicitly describe the heroism of the hobbit, like through Gandalf saying, oh,
Yes.
Yeah, no,
That-
I totally agree with that.
A good
And-
cigar is a good cigar. He's just saying,
and
man,
I
I
just
love
sort
them.
of
There's
feel
not
like,
going to be.
why would Tolkien leave this unsaid?
Right.
Hmm.
But I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I
No.
think it's a totally legit, interpretation, but I'm wondering of what Tolkien would say to that.
Right.
Well, that's what makes
No.
them hero. That's what makes them heroes in his mind is that the hobbits are more practical and just want to get things done. And he goes, okay, I mean, no one wants to do it or no one can do it. I'll do it. So that's part of Tolkien's, I guess.
yeah. And if you look at I'm looking at the text of it right now, actually, that section there completely supports a sort of selfless, sacrifice kind of approach.
Yeah.
It says, a great dread fell on him as if he was awaiting the pronouncement of some doom that he had long foreseen and vainly hoped might, after all, never be spoken.
Right.
An overwhelming longing to rest and remain at peace by Bilbo's side in Rivendell filled all his heart. At last, with an effort, he spoke and wondered to hear his own words as if some other will was using his small voice, which could be an
Kind
interpretation
of points
of
the ring a
Yeah.
little-ish.
And then that's when he says, I will take the ring. But I think that the text really does support that he's super reluctant to do it, but he just feels like somehow he must.
Right.
Right. Well, if you
I
take
think-
the background of him, I mean, he started writing this either during World War One or right after World War One,
Two.
right?
Was it one
So
or
if
two?
he's taking the
One.
idea that the hobbits are the middle class, the people who stepped up and fought the war, and so maybe he views the hobbits as those kind of people, like the people, because he was an aristocrat of sorts, right? When he was in
Yeah.
the war,
He was
he wasn't a private. He was, he was a little bit higher
officer.
than them, an officer of sorts, right? So I know Jolene's talked about that quite a bit.
Well, the other thing is that the hobbits, Tolkien describes them as really loving the simple life. And I can't remember, this is later on, I think, but there's a point where Bilbo talks about all he wants is to go back and see Hobbiton. And this sort of love of the simple life, this lack of greed and lack of interest in acquiring material things also might tie into why the hobbits are so unusually resilient against the ring's effect. And so I feel like, Frodo really was truly just thinking, sigh, my uncle gave me the ring and now I thought this was the end, but I guess it's not. And I think Frodo has a very good sense that he is not coming back. Right? Even at that point, I think he's pretty
Yep.
sure he's not coming back, that he doesn't know how it's going to happen, but he's totally screwed, but somebody's got to do it.
That's definitely,
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely mentioned directly in the book later on.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Feels that
Right.
way, right?
Right.
Not you're
Right.
he
That's
might
right.
certainly feel
Later
that way
on.
now.
Yeah.
You don't think I was thinking that maybe he did have some sort of foreboding of that.
He might, yeah, he might.
it seems
Yeah,
that
later on when he's asking Sam what do we need more food for?
I know. Why don't just eat the
For the
lumbus?
trip home?
We're going
Trip
one way,
home.
people.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe he is because he is I don't know. I don't know if he's old. He might be older than the rest of them, but he's more informed, kind of
He's educated.
educated, and so he
Wait,
knows that
who are
this
we
is
talking about now? Still
Frodo.
Frodo,
Oh.
compared to Sam and Pippin and Mary, right? Because they're like, oh, we're going to go on this trip, we're going to come back, and even Frodo thought that. But as soon as the ring was not going to stay in Rivendell, he realized that's even a farther trip, and it's going to get worse, and the chances of me, little person, making it back are probably not that good. Where Sam kept that idea till until they got to the. When did he give it? I don't think he ever gave up the idea that they were going back until like maybe they were in Mordor and going, man, we're not gonna make it. There was that realization much
Yeah.
later,
He's a
much
wingman
later.
like Sam.
Yeah, much later. So yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I think he was kind of smart and more educated and more realistic as to what was going on.
Well, really? Because I like in the movies, Mary and Pippin are portrayed to be fairly silly and inconsequential, but
Yeah.
You can't be
in the
influenced by the
book,
movies.
Mary's
No,
super
the movies
clever.
did them dirty. The movies did Merry and Pippin dirty.
Especially,
Yeah, I mean,
Buffoons.
they seem to be
They made
so
them the
clever,
comedy-
both of them.
Right.
Right?
I mean, Mary wasn't as denigrated in the movies as Pippin, certainly.
But yeah, no,
But
Pippin
but you
is
didn't really
an
get to
airhead
see
in the movie.
Mary's strengths so much.
Yeah,
Until, of course, he rides in the battle with Eowyn.
Right.
Gandalf.
Arrowhead. Yeah, and I think that we
Eowyn.
talked about that
Eowyn.
in the first chapters of the book where Pippin and Mary and the Conspiracy of Three is the name of
And
the
Sam.
chapters.
Yeah.
And Sam are
Yeah.
all like they know that he has the ring, the one ring even, right? They know he has the one ring.
No, they know it's a magic
Yeah.
ring. They
No,
don't know
Mary.
that it's,
Mary
Yeah.
knows it's a magical ring. I
They
don't know.
don't
if
You
he
didn't,
knows
you
the
didn't think it
other
was the one ring?
They
No,
don't
they
know
didn't know
what the
that.
one ring is.
They don't
That
know that
concept is
story.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
They don't even know
they
that
knew he had a
concept,
magic
right?
ring though.
Well,
Well, they
Miss
knew he
Anne
Mary,
does,
Mary
'cause
saw
he was
Mary saw
sleeping.
Bilbo put it on.
Yeah.
right, and so there was this conspiracy.
Okay, so that's funny though, right? Oh, he saw Bilbo put it on. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this conspiracy, and they make this like long, all these plans to get not Bilbo, but Frodo out of the Shire, and they bought him a house, and they knew,
I
and
know,
there was
they were so clever.
yes, and that's what we were saying is you're right that the movies really portrayed them,
Yeah.
like Steve says, as comedic relief instead of capable people who were even younger than Frodo and Sam, but were definitely not these bumbling fools just going along for the ride.
In the book, I don't think they are younger, right? I mean, I think they're actually really good friends and they've been friends forever.
No, they're pretty young because I
Oh,
think
are
They're like
they?
20
Okay.
years younger than he
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
yeah they're
But
they're way
he's very introverted. He's very strange for a hobbit because he's introverted. He's
Yes.
reading. He's
That is true.
he meets elves. He's like
Yes.
knows about the wider world versus everybody in Hobbiton who's like even the people in Bree, or they call them, what do they call them? The not outsiders, but they're like something else, right? And then ironically enough, the Breelanders call the hobbits the same thing, like they're the outsiders or something.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
Mm.
Yeah, and then not only that, Frodo goes on long walks by himself. And he
Yes.
goes out and so he's definitely introverted, and hobbits aren't introverted, right? They're out, they like to party, they like singing songs, drinking together, and so I think Frodo is a little bit odd. And I was on the timeline always mixes me up because the movies are so ingrained in my head, but he was 33 when they threw the party for Bilbo, right?
Right.
It was the same birthday, and he didn't leave until he was 50,
Yeah.
right? Or 51 even. So
Yeah.
that's 13 years, I think, if
Yeah.
my math is
Yeah. It was
right.
like 18 years.
Yeah.
before he
17
left.
and 18, yeah.
So I think that's interesting, and I think that makes the book much different than the films. And even in the Council of Elrond, they were there for a couple months, right?
Yeah.
And
They
then
were
they
there
were
for
like
2
one
months.
day
They're like,
we
let's
meet
kind of
one
make
day,
sure the
next day
Black
we're
Riders
leaving.
aren't around.
Yeah,
We'll just sit around
like
on our
6 months
hands
later,
for 2
yeah.
months.
I really like the line that you read, Babe, about like a great dread fell on him as he awaited the pronouncement of some doom that he had long foreseen and vaguely hoped might, after all, never be spoken. I think that really is the thing where he's just like, he knows that he's going to do it. Like he knew that he was going to be the guy somehow.
Yeah. That it wasn't going to end in Rivendell.
Right. But he's
Right.
hoping they get there. We did what they asked us to do. We brought the ring here. Maybe this is where it ends. And nope. You
Yeah,
ready?
it's a thing for big folks and heroes to do,
Right.
not for hobbits.
And in the next paragraph, Elrond says, this task is appointed to you, Frodo. And so I think that that's that higher power that I think that Tolkien hits sometimes. Like,
That's only after Frodo volunteers because Elrond makes it very clear that he's not going to sign this.
yes, but there's a previous line when they said like something happened that the ring didn't intend, and Bilbo found it.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
something makes Bilbo find it, right? Something going with it. Maybe it's not the evil voice inside of Frodo. Maybe it is that better voice that we hopefully all have where it's like, I'll do it. Right. He knows like something like prompts him to step up and do the hard thing in life. And Elrond, maybe they're not angels, but they're connected to they're not fairies, right? But the elves are the next best thing to angels. Right.
Yeah.
Because they go away to the west. I mean, assuming they're not like
Well,
the
they're
song
not.
says,
They're not Valar, so they're not. I mean, they're not angels in the.
they're not
the development.
angels, but but they go to the west. I mean, assuming they're not like star travelers and they're just like coming down here in their starships, then there's something.
They're special. They're
They're
definitely
special,
special, right?
Well,
So
They
then,
are
then
the
Elrond's
first
like,
born.
yeah.
yes.
And then, okay, I mean, this is kind of harsh too. It's like, if you can't do it, nobody can, Frodo. Like, holy crap.
And a little later in that discussion, it's clear that Gandalf and Elrond both kind of figured it was going to need to be Frodo,
Right?
because they expressed that a little bit later, that Gandalf was hoping it didn't have to be, but he and Elrond kind of figured it would be.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Gandalf always had this belief in hobbits, right? Even
Right.
from
But
Bilbo
they
and
needed Frodo to do it willingly. They couldn't just say, "You got to
Yes.
do it, or else it won't
Right.
get done." If he
Which
doesn't
is
do
a-
it willingly, he loses that power against the ring.
Which is a big part of Catholicism is like if you have to do the thing willingly, right?
Yes.
If you ask for forgiveness, that has to be a willing thing of you. You have to do the thing.
Yep.
You can't be forced.
Well,
And
the
I
And the
wonder-
Catholic-
Catholics have been wrong.
Wait, really? I thought the whole point of Catholicism was to force you to do stuff out of guilt.
Have you
your
seen
mother.
Manipulates you
That's
by
your
your
mother.
only
fear
guilty
of
for a
going
week.
to hell.
Only guilty for a week. And you confess on
have
Sundays.
you seen the murder mystery Wake Up Dead Man?
No.
Great.
But also, is Tolkien Catholic? I
think
thought
he
he
is.
would be Protestant.
Him and C.S. Lewis were both very religious, and so they did
Yeah.
their
I think
thing.
they might have been Protestant though, Mike.
Protestant. They were some kind of
C.S. Lewis,
religious.
I think, might have been Christian.
Yeah.
All right.
Oswald's
So we'll go with
supposed to
that.
be Jesus.
That sounds right.
But there's
Catholics
that part,
are
I
Christian.
think.
No, I know. Shut up, babe. But I mean,
She
I was
means
thinking, like,
Protestant.
because there's the Anglican Church. I mean, all
Yeah.
that crap happened, and like they're not Catholic, and the English people are not Catholic. That's why Mary Queen of Scots is all mad.
Yes.
Right.
According to
But,
Google,
I mean, which is an interesting part, right? Because at that point, it's like, is it French bread or is it sourdough? I mean, where do we draw this
According
line?
to the
Don't you
Google,
talk about sourdough.
I see what you're saying. It's bread. I got
according,
it.
It's
according to
bread.
Google,
I got it.
Tolkien
It's-
was a devout Catholic.
Oh,
Ooh.
I didn't know that.
Ooh,
Really?
it changes
Doodle,
everything.
Mike gets a gold star. Who can put the gold star emoji
Yes.
right over his face and
Right.
Google sponsored by Trump.
We do the celebration thing around me. So going with that, it has to be the choice. And so if Elrond is there and Gandalf is there and they're like, we can't make him do it.
Right.
Somebody has to step up. And Elrond's bagging on men all the way through the thing. The strength of men is gone.
No kidding, now, yeah. You weak
Like-
ass people.
Listen, we're gonna choose the 3-foot tall guy over Boromir.
Every
which
day,
it turns
any
out was
day.
a good choice.
Give me
Yeah.
3 angry hobbits over 2 white men.
We're gonna call Boromir Plan Nope. And so
Well, I also wonder is that the idea of fate, right? Because the ring finds itself to Bilbo, which goes to Frodo, and he's accompanied by Sam, who indeed is the one who really,
he's the hero.
he is
He's
the hero.
true hero. They think we might yet, Mr. Frodo. We might yet.
So I think that's interesting. Like, I mean, every once in a while, even Gandalf talks about, that we are here because this is the place where we're supposed to be. I think that's
Yes.
when I think Mary or Pippin is like, we're gonna die, and they're
Yeah.
going, well, I wish this had never happened. Frodo says, I wish this had never happened. And again, he says, well, so everybody says that when they're put to the test. So what do you think about
So-
fate in this tale?
I don't think it's fate. I think
There's no
it's the
fate.
higher power. I think it's
Ooh.
whatever his higher power is. I don't think it's
I
if you
do
want to
like I like what Michael's saying about, you know, this idea of free will and choice and
Yeah,
opting
yeah.
in, because Gandalf does make a big deal about the fact that he got Bilbo to give up the ring of his own free will, which
Yeah.
was very important, I think, to why Bilbo is still doing well, right? But I do like Saul's idea of like the ring is trying to get back to its master.
yes. Yes.
And getting picked up by Bilbo was fun. I mean, I think it wanted to get picked up. It was not going to go anywhere in Gollum's little cache,
Exactly what I
but
said.
it didn't
I'm outta
quite
here.
envision, you know, it didn't envision being picked up by a hobbit.
Again,
So here's my question for you. If you guys, let's say you're picturing a personality for the ring or a casting for the ring,
I like it.
who like what? So the ring's there and it's like going, well, bonus points, you're not a goblin. Yay! Right?
Ryan
But then
Reynolds?
Bilbo doesn't move. Like nothing happens for so many years. So who would you cast? Or like again, we're back to Benedict Cumberbatch. I could see him being the ring,
Oh yeah, I could see him being the ring.
right? But I mean,
He
who
has
would
a
you like? What is the ring's
gravelly
personality?
voice.
Because clearly it wants to get back to Sauron.
Right.
Well,
So
it,
what
it
is the
literally
ring?
is a part of Sauron, right? So
it is.
it's
something
like
part of-
it's part of
poured
his,
everything that's in him.
yeah.
Right.
It's
So
a
he
part
puts
of
his
him.
personality into it, but at a certain point, does the ring become its own thing? Like, is it its own? Like in D&D, right?
Yeah.
That sword can have its own personality
Ego.
outside of whatever.
I don't think so, Michael, because it says the ring always wants to get back to its master. They
Okay.
always talk about Sauron as the master.
That's true.
Well,
Okay.
it's a personality of convenience. It has to do what it needs to do to get
All
back
right.
where it's going.
Yeah.
So he
All
has a
right.
personality till he gets to his boss, and then it reverts to his true reality.
I don't think of it as sentient.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's not like Elric's sword, but I do
Okay.
think it has a sort of non-sentient will to try to manipulate, you know, the conditions to sort of like get back there in some magical way.
Okay.
It's like a magnetic force, maybe just always pulling it back towards its master.
Yeah, but it has
a
the ability to
physical,
manipulate
yeah.
things, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
so it's
Right.
not
So
an-
it's
it's
trying
not
to
just
make
an
people
external
do things.
force.
Right.
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 All right. So now they've decided Frodo's going to go. They hang around for 2 months because they're waiting for the guys to get back. And then it becomes winter.
Oh,
Don't they
hold on.
have
I wanted to
heal
interject.
Frodo too?
What?
What's
They
that?
have to heal Frodo. Didn't it take a long time to heal Frodo?
He was already cured by
He
the
was
time they-
already rested, I think,
Yeah.
by the time they
was
got
he?
to.
By the time the council met, he was
Yeah.
as
Remember
okay
they're
as
jumping
he was
around in
gonna
the
be.
bed, and he's all happy in the movie.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
that point, he's already fully healed and ready to go back to, Hobbiton. But yeah. But
I
during
just
all
saw a
that,
line. I just saw a line that I wanted to interject before we moved on to the next thing.
Mhm.
Because right at the end of this chapter of the council is when Sam sort of pops up and says,
Yeah.
I'm going too," and Elrond says, "You at least shall go with him. It is hardly possible to separate you from him, even when he is summoned to a secret council and you are not."
Right.
And that's what I was so glad to read the book so shortly after seeing the movie back in February, because so many lines that I would have just said, "Oh, this was written for the movie. This was written for the movie. This,
Yeah.
line was clearly written for the movie." So many of them are actually
In the
Tolkien's
movie.
lines.
In
Like,
the
and they're
Yes.
all these like funny lines and really good poignant lines. And I'm like, wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like just like that line too.
Yeah, because I read the book right before the movies came out. Well, the first one, and the one line that always sticks with me is the one where Bilbo's saying how old he is to Gandalf. He goes, "I don't
Right,
may
love it.
look it, but I feel it." And he goes,
Right.
"It's like too much, not enough
Too
butter
much
over
butter
too much
spread too
bread."
thinly over
Yeah,
bread.
I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's like that hits, in the movie. And then when I read it, but I remember reading the book. I go, wow, they're actually using exact lines from the book, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool.
Totally
Yeah,
agree.
I thought that was really good. Yeah.
I think Tolkien has some really good lines. And it's just like that one where it's just like,
Speaking of lines, it was funny because I was watching a video of I forget his name, but the star who starred as Gimli. Well, I don't forget his name, but anyway,
Davies?
Gimli Gimli he tried for the part of the King of Rohan, right? So he goes, "Oh, I'm just
I
gonna
could
be
see
in
him do that.
I'm gonna be in a King of Rohan, and then I'm gonna be gone. I'm not gonna do much." And then they go, "I'm gonna be." They gave him the part of Gimli. He goes, "Oh no, I'm gonna be in most of the movie."
I gotta
And so they're
work.
going, and they're like, "Why was the problem?" He goes, "You can't even read that stuff. How are they gonna make that into the movie?" Because he obviously read the Lord of the Rings, and he
Right.
talked about reading it, and it is a choice because me and Julian have been reading it aloud to each other, and it is not an easy book to read because the way the diction and the way the word usage, the way it's not modern English or American English, so it's just kind of is a bother to read, at least for me. I don't know about Jolene, but I'm always turning the words around for it to be more modern, and I'm always inserting words that aren't in there and changing the words like elf to elfish. No, not just joking. But they did that in the book, right? And when the book was translated, or not translated, but republished for American audience, they edited and changed all kinds of words and even changed paragraphs and stuff because they thought that it wasn't written right, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that was one of Tolkien's point of contention is that
Yeah,
they changed the
the wording.
syntax and wording, and
Yeah,
he was very upset about that because it's like,
But he
let's
was
change
always
my
editing his stuff anyway. Supposedly
yeah
he was editing it till the end of his days, right? Because like
yeah.
I forget
Oh,
how many pages of edits he had. But yeah, the actor, I forget his name, but the actor who played Gimli
John
goes,
John
Rhys
Rice
Davies.
Davies.
Yes, that's him. He goes, "There's no way they're gonna
Rice.
finish this movie because it's a hell of a long movie, a lot of books to make in one movie." And he goes, "And the writing is terrible for the movies. Nobody's gonna go see this movie,"
doesn't
which I thought was kind
translate
of funny.
doesn't translate easily.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was a really. I think the scriptwriters did a really good job of converting the books into a movie. And though I know there's a lot of criticism about the movies, but even that, but now that I'm reading the books again, I can see some of that criticism
That's why they
like
won Oscars. So
making sense. I know, but I not that, but I can see why people
Won
are
Oscars?
criticizing the movie. Yeah,
for writing and adaptation,
okay.
screenplay, everything.
yeah, that's a very tough task. Yes, I I hadn't read any of the books before the movies.
Oh yeah,
My last exposure was that animated one back in the 70s.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I tried reading the first book for the movie, but I only got to like a little bit past Tom Bombadil, and then went to see the movies. So I had no idea what the dialogue was. And I
Right.
was very disappointed Tom Bombadil wasn't in the movie.
You're
So
kidding me. You're freaking
because
liar.
that's the only point I got to the book up to that
Yes.
point.
Yes.
So
I was
it was a
also
big-
disappointed, Sip, that
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil wasn't
Yeah.
in the movie.
I still
Don't worry,
kinda
there's
am.
gonna be a movie with Tom Bombadil.
There is
with
going to
what's
be
his
one.
face. Yeah, because I guess the movie that what's his name? Stephen
They're
Colbert.
gonna do AI Robin Williams.
says,
to do Tom
Get
Bombadil.
out of here. They're gonna do
He'd be a good
Totally-
Tom Bombadil.
Totally
He would be a
possible.
great Tom Bombadil.
get out of
Robin
here.
Williams. Yeah.
Robin
No way.
Williams.
No, no, no.
I love that idea.
An AI Tom.
Thumbs up.
He
Get
can
out
pull
of
it
here.
up. Yeah.
Anyway, but I like the idea of with reading the what is it them leaving the council after or on their journey is that they traveled at night, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
I was surprised by that.
I was holy
Yes.
crap. So all this
Well,
thing,
you know,
like,
all that time after the council meeting until they left,
yes,
they were doing other stuff around it. You know, I was reading the book, Aragorn was up with the other rangers looking for Gollum,
yeah,
and the elves went back to, back to his dad to tell him, what's going on. And, that's why it also took so long, because
right,
it wasn't just kind of waiting. They were doing stuff like scouting and making sure that, you can find the safest route and stuff, which totally surprised me because I had no idea. It's like, I totally forgot about that. I go,
It's-
yeah.
and
In
that's
the movie, they
another,
just took off. Yeah, let's go.
that's another thing is that I've forgotten so much about the books
Yeah.
after I read them, and then after seeing the movies over and over again,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that I totally
But
forgot.
you're right. It surprised me. I don't know why it would, since we play so much D&D and stuff, that they were using the cover of the night to be stealthy
Yeah.
because they want to be seen. But it
Makes
makes total
total
sense. I buy into that. I go, yeah, it's not easy, but it's got to be done.
But again, I can see that choice to not shoot everything at night, because can you imagine the freaking
Oh, no.
hell that would have been? And people going, "Oh my god, I can't see nothing; it's too dark."
Be like the Game of Thrones scene, man. I can't see anything. What's going on in the battle?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's just really neat the the difference between the book and the movie because you could see why they made certain choices and stuff like that. Though I was just talking to Jolene today about them leaving Rivendell, and I'm like, they could have given us a 10-second montage of them, leaving or waiting and stuff like that. But I guess even then it would have been too much time, and for what really?
And I think you nailed it right there. It's like, and I totally agree with that. Or it's like camping and doing stuff, and it takes a whole long time. It's like, and people are gonna be like,
I mean,
They
you see them walking a lot, right?
Yeah.
There you are, the walking.
Walking.
No, they're
Okay.
crouching, they're climbing. Come on, they're struggling.
so
I actually really don't like the walking scenes because I was
What?
never convinced in any of the movies by the way they did Hobbits.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the walking scenes, it's so obvious that there are children walking. It's because the way they walk is like it was just not done well.
Wow. I was totally fooled.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I bit into it hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch those scenes, I'm like, oh.
Damn you,
I
babe.
never noticed that before.
Thank you, babe.
I know.
For
Thank you,
ruining the
babe, for
movie.
ruining my movie.
You ruined it for me, babe.
You know what?
You thought they were
He did.
hobbits.
Yes, I
They
thought they were
hired
He
hobbits.
told
hobbits.
me this, but I don't really know what he's talking about. So like the movies still are like awesome for me. Like the walking scenes are fine for me. But I
I
know
thought they
that
just shrunk everybody,
not everybody is pedantic as Bay is. Let's
That is true.
That is true. Yeah.
But everyone should be as pedantic.
right. It's a pretty low bar of pedantry.
I don't know about that.
So here's my main question then about that trip is the whole time the biggest change in my opinion in the Fellowship of the Ring, aside from Tom Bombadil's, canceling, was
Cancel
Gandalf
culture.
wanted to go through Moria
Yes.
versus Gandalf is afraid something bad is going to happen to him in Moria in the movies.
No, I thought
Well-
Gandalf wanted to go through Moria,
At
and
what point did you
Aragorn,
think? Yeah.
and
what point you
Aragorn
think
did not want to go through Moria.
Yeah.
In the
Aragorn-
movies, Gandalf's like, he did not want to go through Moria.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
There's something
Yes.
bad. And then in the book, he's like, and Aragorn, exactly. Aragorn the whole time's like, no,
Yeah.
that's a bad call.
Yeah.
And Gandalf's like,
bad call, Ripley.
Moria,
What other choice we got?
bad call, Ripley. My bad call, Ripley.
And I always thought it was glaring that decision in the movie where they say, "Oh, let the ring bearer make the decision." Like, who the hell is gonna let him make the
I
decision?
know.
He don't
Let
know
me just
nothing.
flip a freaking gold piece. at
Peter
this point,
Jackson, my
because,
friend. Peter Jackson.
Oh well, I mean,
Hey.
I'm not saying he's perfect, but
Hey, Hey, little boy, since
fell.
you've never been out of Hobbiton, which way do you think we should go?
Yeah. Well, you got to forget something.
no.
Everything's got to go through the
No,
ring bearer at
Steve.
that point.
We haven't heard things, Steve.
no.
Let's wait. Steve, talk.
Try talking. No,
No,
no
Nope,
sound.
can't hear you,
No sound.
No
We'd
sound.
like to try this with Saul, though.
but it won't work.
If only we had a mute button.
I do have a mute button.
No, one
It's called
person. we know we can-
Jolene.
I have,
One
a mute
person
button,
that
I have a
can-
mute button for all of you. I am in control.
Yeah, funny
So,
guy.
how do you
Funny
feel
guy.
about that? How do you feel about that change? Is my question.
What was the change again?
Gandalf being
Aragorn
like,
and-
"Go through Moria," versus Gandalf saying something bad is going to
I
happen
mean,
in Moria.
Well-
that is like a, sort of like a premonition, right?
Sure.
Because we know what happens there, and
Yes.
clearly done for cinematic reasons. I actually didn't actually notice that difference, but
Yeah.
that's the point. It's
I remember
definitely-
that too when
definitely
I read that part in the book and in the movie. I'm like, why? And then again, I didn't know the reason why they would change that. Why make Gandalf want to go through and then later, and then have Aragorn not say, well, no, we shouldn't go down there. That's a big no. But and other than the fact that it was when Gandalf does go down there, they have that scene where he goes, I have no recollection of this place. So
Yes.
he's lost. And then when he's waiting and waiting, and then finally go, I think it will go this way. And so it was like pure chance. Well, sort of, because he goes this way doesn't smell as bad.
Which is straight out of the book.
Yeah.
Is it? I totally forgot
Yes,
about
because
that.
he's like,
Yes.
"There's a little
It's
further."
right when they come to that where they come to the room where the well's in,
Oh yeah.
and then they go either straight down or up, and then he goes, they don't want to go that way because they didn't like it. Then he that way, but he was momentarily confused, and then like Mike said, he's like,
Oh.
oh, I smell the fresh air. Oh,
One
yeah,
of
maybe this.
one of. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sam.
No, I'm done.
I think one of the key things that like Saul memories for me is Saul saying, "And they call it a mine" at every drop of the hat. And so that was another major change when they went into Moria. When they first get there, it's just open, right? This is like the back door, nobody's around. Whereas in the movie, it's like, oh, bad things happened here, right? They
Yeah.
jump into that right away.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to give the audience a premonition.
But I like that change in the movie for what it's worth. I really dug the things like we're going to go over because something's bad in here. And Gandalf has that premonition. Like he knows there are some things I have not been tested against yet, right? And he knows that something is in Moria. So there's a big test for him.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like he liked the odds better going through Moria than having to go down to Isengard and
Oh,
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Boromir's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only one that wanted to go through
Yeah.
Isengard ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's wait for the Gap of Rohan.
Yeah.
right. Let's go
It's
to
like,
my
oh,
house.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go to my house. You'll
Yeah.
all be safe there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that I
The
mean now
area's
that
secure there.
right. I mean, he came up that way, and he's like, "This was fine. I rode
Yeah.
past there, and it was
Yeah.
But
fine."
his horse got killed. So there's that.
Yeah.
Did it?
What?
His horse got killed?
His horse died along the way up there. It took him months to get to the Council of Elrond.
Oh, Boromir.
Didn't
Yeah,
know his horse
Boromir.
died. Okay.
He had to eat it.
But
And
you
it's
gotta
horrible.
be-
I don't remember that in the book, Michael.
It was inferred.
Oh, I
You
see.
have to read
This is
between
the
the lines.
Michaelism.
You got to read
It
between
took
the lines.
110 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
110
Mainly
days.
because he
Wow.
got food poisoning from the horse and he had to recover.
And then he did talk about how about their horses, the Rohan people were like they're really sensitive about their horses. So
Eat a horse in front of them, they get off.
yeah, they're branded for life.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually in the Council of Elrond. He was really skeptical of Gandalf's claiming that that the Rohirrim were
Yes.
actually appeasing Sauron by
Yes.
gifts of horses, because he's like, no, they would never do this, right?
Yes, I remember
He was
that.
very defending,
Yeah.
the Rohirrim and saying this is they love the
True.
horses so much they would
Right.
never ever.
They're very yeah.
Yeah.
Were
They never do
they,
this.
were they doing that to, like you said, sort of appease Sauron? Or is it?
Yeah,
That's the
it was
question.
like tribute, like paying tribute, really.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Saruman,
Era-
wasn't it? Or was it Sauron?
Yeah, Saruman. Wasn't it?
I think it
I
was
thought that I
Sauron.
The big S.
Yeah.
No, because at that point they didn't know the
Nobody knows
Rohirrim did
about
not yet
Saruman
know that
yet.
Saruman was betraying them. Right?
Right.
It
Not
wasn't-
until Gandalf tells him.
Yes, right. Yeah, not until, Theoden is released from the power of Wormtongue.
Oh, that's true.
Wormtongue's
Okay.
unmasked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
at that point I could believe that Wormtongue's the one that's sending the horses, right? So he could be the one that's there and
Could be.
says send the
Could be.
horses.
Oh, yeah.
Playing both sides.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
So
sense.
Wormtongue, of course, is a servant of Saruman and not Sauron
Sauron.
directly.
Right.
That's
Super
true.
confusing it to me as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
And
All
then
the
these two
names are-
powers and what the hell? I mean, yeah.
And it's
They
Arrowin and
They could
Eowyn.
have just chosen like slightly more different names.
Yes.
I know,
Literally, these names.
Why? I know.
Different letter. Just
One
any
has two
letter.
syllables, the
Yeah.
other one has three syllables, Bay. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just
He could have
you
said
gotta go,
Taruman.
you gotta work
Yeah.
with
Oh
Saruman.
man, yes.
Yeah, just any letter.
He
like
liked
they
certain
said.
keys on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been a typewriter back then.
Right, typewriter.
Which in England they call keyboard salt.
Maybe his a T was stuck, all the letters, and so he goes, "Damn, I just hit the S again."
Yeah, this is easier. That makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely had the same problem when I was reading it. I go, well, which one's this? Sauron, and then Arwen. I'm like, oh my
I'll
god.
make you a list,
confused.
Saul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me the flow chart.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I didn't read the War and Peace.
War and
Or
Peace.
Dune, I'm sorry, Dune.
Oh, dude.
I tried reading
Dune,
Dune.
yes.
After
Oh.
about 8 pages of reading those names, I go, okay, I'll come back. I'll
I'm
circle
done.
back to this. I never did.
You shouldn't read a Game of Thrones then.
Oh,
really?
it's not that bad.
I seen the
Oh,
series.
it's
so I thought
horrible
you know,
book.
good.
Just don't read Game of Thrones on principle alone. Boycott.
I don't read it. I yet to
Boycott
finish
George R.
that.
R.
Well,
Martin.
he hasn't finished right.
sucks.
He hasn't finished writing it himself. So why should I
He
even?
sucks. He's a liar and a cheat.
Whoa.
Oh my
Oh,
God, we
hey.
found someone like you, Saul.
I hate
I
Or
know,
he's-
but
I hate him so
how
much.
he's so wishy-washy. How she
He's
pick
no
a
Tom
stance.
Bombadil, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
He is
Yeah.
no Tom Bombadil. That is so true.
Amen.
I'm
So
feeling
someone,
the same about Jim Butcher
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I like Jim
Why?
Butcher.
why?
because he won't finish my series, the Aeronauts Windblast.
That's
Ooh,
like
I
his
do like
third
that series.
project.
That's a good series.
Okay,
But he's just
pro
writing that
tip,
when he
Steve.
feels like it.
Don't start
Yeah,
any series
son of a
until they're
bitch.
freaking done with them.
Yeah, see, that's the
George
Mike
R. R.
law.
Martin has like created this entire world of like
Yes.
faking you out. So
That's why I only binge watch TV series.
I
wait till the
never
season's
do
over.
anything until the last
Watch
book
it.
is done.
Yes.
I
You know
kind
who's
of
really
agree with
good
you,
at that?
Cowie.
Cowie, you're very, very passionate about this issue.
I agree with
Oh my
Cowie about
God, I'm
this
so pissed off.
100%. We may not agree
So
about Tom
pissed off.
Bombadil, but this is the thing.
Yes.
Don't ever read the books until the series is done.
I know.
Or the
Freaking
author.
5 books of like over 1,000 pages. It's like freaking like 6,000 pages of reading. And the
Is the
goddamn
Wheel of
thing
Time
is-
done?
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
it is.
Brandon Sanderson finally
Even
finished
after the
it.
guy
But that guy
died.
had
After
to
Saul and
die for
Kathy
it to get
killed off
done.
Robert Jordan,
No, it
Brandon
wasn't me.
Sanderson finished
It wasn't me.
Wow.
Robert
So
Jordan
now we
had
have to read it,
die.
is what you're saying? Do we really have to? So,
No.
It's like
so many
14
books.
books, so go for it.
No.
I'm at
Averaging
book.
800
I would. I
pages
think it's
each.
good.
I'm at book 10 right now, so I'm going through 10.
You know
go,
who's good
Saul.
about
I'm
finishing
rereading them.
stories?
I'm
Terry
reading them.
That's
Pratchett.
dedication.
Terry Pratchett's good
I
about. You
could-
can read any Terry Pratchett book,
Yeah,
and you can read
Saul.
all 40 of them, and they're all awesome.
Jolene's
Yes.
hardbacks are right there, and I'm like, I could only handle guards. It was just too English snarky for me. That's the
Right.
problem. So back to the matter at hand.
Back to the matter
So,
at hand.
someone mentioned that Gandalf felt something underneath there that would challenge his powers, right? And so something that was interesting that doesn't come up in the movie that's talked about is when they finally get to battle down there, like they're attacked, right, by the troll,
Wolf.
the cave troll, and by the
Yeah.
captain of the orcs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or
He does use a spell, right, to actually bring down the room in order to seal their escape. But then he's drained. He's like, and
Yes.
that is completely new. And he's like, I don't know why, what happened. I just,
Well, that's when he was fighting the Balrog out there, and so he contested the Balrog. Balrog's trying to get him, and so he's fighting the Balrog, and then he's like, "Oh, got to bring down the house. I lost."
did the Balrog, I can't remember because I haven't read it that recently, but did the Balrog didn't actually make his didn't appear yet in that scene. It was like,
I thought there was something out there. There's something of fire and
something,
darkness out
right.
there, right? So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
fighting the thing out there, and I'm assuming that's
You're
the
right.
Balrog out there.
I
And
think
so then
you're
he's
right.
like, and I lost, so I brought down the roof on him, and now we got to run.
and then he was totally weak, super drained.
Yes, so
Right.
he's done because he used it. So yes, to back up a little bit, do you think that Caradas, the mountain that they tried to go over, was that its own thing in the book, or was Saruman or Sauron or somebody making the weather bad there?
Wow.
Combination.
I
Combination.
felt Saruman did that.
In the
In the
movie,
movie he
definitely
did, but-
Saruman did it.
but
Yeah.
in the book, there's no
In
mention
the book, they
of
don't
Sauron.
actually.
Yeah, in
It's
the
just-
book, I
they
get
don't
more of the
say.
sense.
It's kind of portrayed as just a natural bad storm.
Except that they do
No.
say that they hear the fell voices on the wind.
Yes, they
That
do
was
say
Saruman.
that.
And Gimli keeps going, "It's the mountain, it's the mountain, it's the mountain."
Well, and they do all, and I don't know, I forget who's saying it.
Do
I
that
think it was-
again, because
I'm
I
sorry,
was,
can you
that's
do that
not how I
impression
read
again?
Gimli. That's not how I heard his voice in my head. when I read it.
No,
One more time, Michael. What was
It's the
that?
mountain, it's the mountain, it's the mountain.
that's Tom Bombadil. Okay,
It's
so,
That
I'm
is
Tom
not.
Bombadil. Michael, you and I, we might have a little variety show.
You know, we got some material here.
but they always
Yeah.
describe the what is it, the Caradas as being unusually laden with snow. Said about the shoulders of the
Yes.
mountain, right?
The snow's
the-
early, it's all up
it's,
there.
It's yeah, the snow is lower on the shoulders than it should be at this moment.
Well, the
Yeah.
snow's
Oh,
all the
at
way
this
down
time.
at the knees right now.
Yes.
Is that what it said? The knees?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard. I remember reading shoulders. So
Normally, shoulders is where it should be at this time of
oh,
year.
okay, maybe that's what I read.
But it's all the way down at the knees. It's heavier than ever, and they hear fell voices on the wind, which
Right.
convinced me that this is either Sauron or Saruman, and the
Right.
movie points it to Saruman.
Right,
But there's
He's,
no.
literally yelling out into the.
I think
Okay.
if that's true, I think has to be Saruman because he's the one that sent the birds to look for them, right? To
Yep,
see
and he's
them.
closer.
And they talk back. They tell him what they
The
see.
Quabain.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you say it?
Crebain? I don't know.
Crebain.
Crebain.
Trevain,
Yeah.
yeah. I never heard that term.
By the
We just
way,
read it, Saul.
I never heard that term outside of
I think it's just
Tolkien.
Yeah.
another
They
word
make it
for
up?
crows or something.
Murder of crows? No, I
But
mean,
by
that's
the
what
way,
they call it.
Saul and Sip and Jolene, your dwarves were actually making your way across that very pass on Caradhras in the
Yes, I
snow.
remember.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Mike.
and
your,
Mike.
your dwarf.
Oh,
too.
Mike. Mike too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the book, Caladus is definitely a hell of a lot tougher than it was in the movie. I mean, it's like
Well, it
Yeah,
stopped him
yeah,
in
it's
the
a-
movie too.
it had its own personality plus whatever they were projecting onto it. It's like they were giving this like a personality, like a willful personality. It's battling against us, it's forcing us to, getting the best of us. And then at the end they even said, yeah, it beat us. But we got
Right.
lucky. We got lucky.
Score one for
so-
Caradas.
Yeah, score.
Yeah, and they could barely get back,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
there was an entire scene of them just trying to, get back down the mountain.
Yeah. I got tired for them trekking. I go, man, this is a tough trek. Tougher than Felipe's 1 mile jog.
I did. That was one of my favorite scenes with Legolas, though, because he's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
and he runs over the snow.
He runs
Like-
over the snow.
Yeah.
What are you guys crying about? Look at there
I
they go.
know.
I
I'm
hated
pretty
that.
sure when they turned around at Caradhras and decided they had to go back, I think I dozed because suddenly they were already back to the lake. Did I doze there?
You did, because
You
they
did.
come all the way down, and then they go through this wasteland for like 3 weeks.
Oh damn, I did doze.
You can
And
rewind.
there was a fight
I'll
with the
have to
wargs at
rewind and
night.
listen to it.
There's a
Right.
fight. What?
Before they get to the lake, there was a fight with the wargs. The
Yes.
wargs attack at night.
Yes.
Oh wow, I did
The-
sleep.
the
Yeah,
ghost
rewind.
wargs.
You got to rewind.
They were like a
Yep.
trippy ghost wargs because there were no bodies the next morning. All the wolves were gone. So they fought them, and then so I thought that was pretty neat, actually.
I did hear that part.
There's that.
They're ghosts?
Well, there was something about them because then the next day they fought them off. They killed all the wargs, and then the next day there were no bodies of wolves.
Right. They took all their dead.
See, I thought it was more like they
They
were
just kinda-
spirit wargs or they're
Oh.
mystical wargs or something like that. They didn't because there's
Yeah. Gandalf says these were no ordinary wolves hunting for food in the wilderness.
They can take in the bodies. They don't have thumbs.
yep,
They could bite and drag the bodies
dragging
out.
away, exactly.
Like in like Eaters of the Dead.
Just like in the China Wall,
I didn't see that
Matt
one.
Damon.
Did you like the lake
Wait,
in the
wait.
book? Did you find the lake scary in the book as it was in the
Yeah.
movie?
In the book, yeah. But
That
in
and
the
that was
movie-
surprising.
In the movie, it's
Pippin
just a
wasn't
little,
the one who
little
threw a rock
pond.
in.
What? What was that,
Pippin
Steve?
wasn't the one who threw in a rock.
Nope, it was stupid Boromir.
Yeah.
He's bored. Yeah.
But that was
Oh.
that's Pippin's role in the movie, so he
Yeah.
had to do it, and
Right.
that's his role.
Ah,
Pippin, we
yes.
got a job
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, throw some rocks in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're our dumbass. You're
There's
doing
also it also seemed a lot bigger in the book. I mean, the whole area
Yes.
was way bigger than just that little trail, a big pond, and a big old door. It's like, wow, that's pretty reduced. Here's like a whole valley of,
It's
Yeah.
a very, very
Terrain
big
and-
flooded. Yeah.
it was much better in the book. I go, oh wow, this is
I
a
think they
little
could have done
tougher.
that in the movie. I think they could have pulled that off and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
wait a second, this is not the way it was before." And then you come up and you see this big dark lake that leads all the way up there, and they're like,
Yeah.
"This is not how this was before," right?
Right.
To get that sense of, oh,
I didn't even know there was a difference from the movie and the book. Well, because I hadn't
Yeah.
read the book, so. But
And the
yeah,
monster in the
I like
lake
the
didn't
book.
seem-
I like the book version better.
yeah,
Really?
I-
Yep.
I like
Definitely.
the book version of the lake, but I like the movie version of the battle with the monster in the lake.
Hmm.
There was
Well,
more
yeah, 'cause,
battle in
yeah,
the movie.
in the book it was just a tentacle and a couple
Yeah.
tentacles,
in
and
the
that's
bottom.
it.
He says, "Ready to go whenever you are."
And Sam's the one that stabs the
sounds good.
tentacles.
They don't look that hard.
Right.
And Sam says what?
Sam's the one that stabs the tentacles and gets Frodo away from because the
Yeah.
monster
Oh.
comes out definitely after Frodo.
Right, right.
Well, because he's the
And so-
closest one. Everyone else was busy with the door.
No, it's that ring, dude. It attracts the
that-
evil
yes, I agree.
monsters.
Yeah,
The ring
I-
affects the monster
I thought it was the ring. I thought it was the ring.
I do too.
in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever. That's why
Yeah,
it always
both.
attacks Frodo. That's why Frodo's always the one getting attacked
Yeah.
because that ring is like
It is.
It's
I think
like
in
a
the book
beacon.
it's very
Evil
clear
too.
that he goes after him for some reason, but like it's the ring. Yeah.
Which
And in
maybe,
the
go ahead.
I was going to say in the description of the book, they actually describe how the tentacles of the monster actually grab the doors and smash it,
Yes.
which you don't actually see quite that in the movie.
Well,
But
in the
that's pretty
book, didn't
cool.
he just close? Didn't he just close the doors?
I
He
think
didn't.
Oh, yeah,
I
I thought
think
they
they
just
went in, they
closed them
closed the
He
shut.
just
door.
closed the doors. He didn't come crashing down. In the movie, everything crashes down, so they're pinned in there. But
Oh,
in the
that
book,
is
to me,
true. Yep,
in the book,
you're
it seemed
right.
like it just closed the door so they wouldn't escape. I guess I don't know. I was surprised by that. I go, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
in the movie, it grabs the doors and just collapses everything,
Well, it's
so they
trying to
have
go
no
through.
way to get out.
Yeah.
They have to go through.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Well, it destroyed it because it's so big. It was trying to get to them. Just where in the book, it seemed like it was making a conscious choice of, well, okay, close the doors on you
Well,
guys.
it's a little vague. It just says
Yeah.
that they slammed, and then a noise of rending and crashing came through the ponderous stone.
Yes, that's a good point.
And then Gandalf says the way is blocked, but it's not completely clear. Is it physically blocked or like we're not going to see that guy
Yeah.
again?
It's
He ain't going back
blocked.
out there.
Yeah,
no, I ain't going
yeah,
back
you're
out
right. It
there.
is kind of vague.
Room for interpretation.
How do you feel about the days and days and days and days that they travel in Moria in the book versus in the movie? It does feel kind of,
Pretty short.
yeah.
So much better. That's how it should have been.
How do you convey that in a book in a movie
Yeah,
though?
you can't, it
And
doesn't
not
Well,
translate
yeah.
well to
and
doesn't
Bort just
translate well to a movie.
smackles out of everybody in the theater.
Much of
Blake
CGI.
does like him some walking scenes, so just
That's
Yeah,
true.
Bay does like walking scenes.
Yeah, this walking
didn't
scene
get-
is
I-
awesome.
I didn't get a chance to mention what I really liked about the walking scenes. I agree that they looked like children and that looked a little wonky, but you had to get the idea of distance and obstacles, mountains, hills, high
Scale.
mountains,
Scale.
valleys,
Yeah,
all of this different stuff. And the walking scenes do convey that.
that was
Yeah.
probably the
Not,
best
hey,
thing
it's a
about
good
it.
little
No, I
3-day
think that's
jaunt.
good. I actually think of this all the time when I'm just driving, like I'm driving on 280 here, and I'm just thinking about like, look at all these hills. There's like walking over all this stuff, right? I mean, before it was developed here, it's a lot.
that's
What
one
do
of
you
my
mean?
favorite things
Yeah.
when
Say
I
that
go on a
again?
walk or a hike. It's just like going, if somebody shot some arrows out of those bushes over there, I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. I would be dead. There's no way I'm gonna go chasing into there.
No, I didn't quite hear what you said, Bay.
Oh, I was just saying that I think of their journey across Middle Earth all the time
Okay.
when I'm just like driving on the highway and I'm looking over in the hills, like on 280
Oh
especially.
yeah,
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
all hills over there, and just thinking about like, wow, without the development in the highway here, this would just be like it would take forever to get anywhere. But this is what they're doing. They're just like
Right.
walking and walking and walking.
What
Well,
they do-
even I used to drive to Salinas all the time, and from here to Salinas, there's some hills and there's some valleys and stuff like that. And I also had that. I always think about that. I go, how arduous would it be to walk through, just these hills? And I'm not even sure if they mow these hills or not for hay or whatever, because I don't know. I have no idea. But it's the grass isn't huge and tall.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty tall, but at the same time, I'm like, well, to go up and down and gullies and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And
it
there's
would
no
be a-
paths, right? If
There's
you're
no
going
paths,
through
right.
like a brushy area, it's not easy to make your way through it.
Right. I totally agree. And if you go off, if you ever go hike, well, I think you have gone hiking, and you're out there, and there's a path, there's a trail that you're following. I looked off the trail, and I'm like, holy crap! How hard would it be to go through there without a path
If
or
there
any
wasn't
kind
one.
of path? If there wasn't one,
Picture getting from Salinas or from San Jose to Salinas without going through that eucalyptus forest. Right, because
Yes.
if you go south on 101, there comes a point where there's that pass that's like it's a eucalyptus forest, and that's how we always knew when we were getting close to home because it's about 30 to 40 minutes away from Salinas. But it becomes that thing. If you don't do that, then you have to go over Fremont's Peak, or you have to go through Aromas and this long way away. So, good perspective, Bay. I mean, that's really the truth, right? Where you go, no wonder they're going like 6 miles a day because they're wandering through this knee-high grass. It's like, yay, ancient Empire Road. Let's follow this for a while.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
it's funny,
throw in a
we-
little bit an anecdote from Sally, my wife, who a couple years ago went with a group of her friends hiking. They had gotten a book by someone who had purportedly mapped out a off-trail hike from Yosemite to Whitney, or actually down to anyway, somewhere down there, close there. So it's like almost not quite as far as the Drummond Trail. So I'm not sure where it popped out. But so they decided they wanted to do it. So they were basically off trail, just like, just going through.
That's crazy. I just gotta say that's
So they're
another thing
bushwhacking
that-
it.
They're bushwhacking and just navigating based on the descriptions in the book. So after it was like going to be like a 10 to 14 day trip. They get to a point where they end up on the top of a ridge, and the indication in the book was, oh yeah, it's a little tricky, but just go down from that ridge. And they were just like, we can't do this. And they actually spent a lot of time up there. They had some experienced mountaineers. They were like, let me go scout out for it. They went out there, and the person came back and said, if we had ropes and equipment, we could get down this thing. But where we are, there is no way we can get down. And they had to actually turn back and find a different
Wow.
way. And they couldn't actually complete the trip, and they had to find a way back to a trail and make it back before their
Oh,
food ran out.
shit.
But the point was, like, this is the same thing that happened to them. You don't have them. Those guys didn't have a map. You get to some point, and it's like, well, we can't continue. Like, we
Yeah,
thought that we would get
it's a
over
dead
this
end.
bridge, but it's a sheer cliff, right?
Right, and that happened with the Hobbit's journey from
Yeah, it's like Sam and Frodo.
from Bree to I think they had left Bree. Yeah, when they were running away from no, when they were going to Bree, right? Then they go through some thickets and they try to follow a river, and then the river it was too slippery, or there was a waterfall and there was a cliff, and they're like, oh man, we got to go around. And so there was a lot of double back going double, go back.
Is that
and
when
forth.
Old Man Willow was herding him into himself?
I think
Mm,
Might have
so.
been
I think
before
that's
that.
what Saul's talking
No, it
about.
was before
Was
that.
it? Was it
Wasn't that part of the Fangorn?
Oh, I know what
excursion?
he's talking about when they're going from Hobbiton to
To Bree.
wherever Frodo's house was.
Oh yeah, Crick Hollow.
Because
Oh, yeah.
they saw the Black Rider, and Frodo goes, let's go through, not go on the road anymore. So they went straight, and Pippin said, I don't think we should go this way because there's no trail. And they ended up having it was
To go back
the
and
same
forth
thing.
because
Right.
he goes because Frodo goes, oh, by my recollection, this should be a straighter path if we just go off the road and go straight. And they go off the road and they're like going through thickets and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we're blocked. We gotta go back. And then they found a creek or a river, and they tried following that, and it led to a waterfall. And they're like, oh, we can't do that. And then it was just a
Right.
big
Yeah. Okay. I
hassle.
do remember that passage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's where
Exactly.
Stri-
It's like,
That's what you get for bushwhacking.
That's where Strider later on mocks him. He goes, my cuts, long or short, never go awry.
My cut's long or short. I love it.
a tracker and a ranger.
Well, that's great, right? And then I'm picturing your wife's trip then, because it's like, oh, we have to go back. Maybe they're 7 days into this by the time you reach that point, right? And then
Yep.
somebody goes, so what do? We have to go back 7 days to get back to where we
Yeah.
were. What if they
Yeah.
were 10 days into it?
Yeah.
And now we're
They were actually a little bit further. They had basically
Right,
didn't have-
so
they didn't
now
actually have enough food. Yeah.
right, exactly.
And
that's-
Michael, I think it's like for those of us who have been hiking and going camping with Felipe,
I was gonna say it's a Felipe trip.
and he says it's only a mile. And how many miles did we go? And Alicia
So-
got heat stroke, and we're like out there, and Michael
That's
had
not-
to carry my backpack out because I was like, I can't do this anymore. And
Yeah, she had lost hope.
Felipe's
it's
all,
not fun till
it's
you
only
carry
a
a Coleman
mile, we're
stove."
fine.
She's like, we can eat
Lost.
Saul. It'll be fine. Saul wants us to eat him.
You know,
Go
the whole
on
fun-
without me.
the
Save
funniest point about-
yourselves.
the funniest point of the whole story is it was only supposed to be a mile. 5 miles later, we get to the sign that says it's 10 miles more.
I wasn't on that one with you
And
guys.
Felipe goes, oh.
My
Guess I was
calculations
wrong.
were off.
That
Okay.
is so far.
My calculations are a little off. We're like, they're totally.
I'm a-
Are you reading the book? You got it upside down, Felipe.
I
You're
may
the
be
Eagle
wrong on this.
Scout.
Kathy and
Yeah.
I went on a hike, and we go in, and we're going to go to this waterfall. And it's about 3 miles in.
Oh wow.
And so it's not it, but it's a really nice maintained walk, and it's
Okay.
the whole thing, and it's like really nice hike. So we get there, and it's about a half mile from this one point that goes down. But there's also this additional like 4 miles in, 5 miles in, that you can go to this other campground. And we're like, we're just going down to this waterfall, but there's these guys sitting there, and they have a dog, and Kathy has to talk to all the dogs. And so we're sitting there and they're sitting there and they're smoking their cigarettes and they're like 20-something-year-old guys and they're all in pretty good shape. And apparently they're like, yeah, we just decided we would come in and go camping for the night. So they got their stuff and they're like, yeah, we're trying to get to this spot. And it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And they're like, we're like, that's like another 5 miles in of walking to get there. And then you have to set up your tent there. And it's like, and I don't know that trail. I have not gone to that trail, but and we talked about it later, like looking at those guys, you can see the conversation that happened earlier that day. How hard can it be? We'll just walk in and we'll go camping. It's only 7 miles, 8 miles. How hard is that?
It's only a mile. Okay,
only-
I'll take my Coleman stove with me.
I walk 3 or 4 miles an hour just on a daily basis.
Yeah, no
That's only
problem.
going to be a couple of hours.
I could ride my bike
Yeah.
for 20 miles. No
We're getting
problem.
off topic, but I'm just like, I forget at what point we realized we may have made a mistake in going hiking and trusting Felipe's judgment.
Right.
So by
No,
that time
none of
we're-
us trust Felipe's judgment on how
I
far
think at that point
something.
we were kind of committed and go, well, we're already halfway there, which
Yeah.
we weren't.
So that's
Well,
when
that-
you turn to the youngest member of the party and say, let's let Timmy decide what we do.
So what happened
Yeah,
was
that's a Coleman stove carrier decide. Let's go back.
Well, so what happened in that one was just like the next decent campsite. That's where our campsite's gonna be. Forget where our destination is. So yeah, that was pretty bad.
Well, after we saw the sign, we go,
1 versus 10 miles is
yeah,
Bad.
we got decisions to make, people.
Yeah, let's kill Felipe.
Right.
That thought did cross the mind of a party, I think.
I think that's where did we take Adrian then?
Yeah, we took
Yeah.
Adrian and
And Sergio. There
Sergio.
was quite a few of us. Did you didn't go?
How
You
old
didn't go
was
on that
Adrian?
one.
Oh, yeah.
I
Adrian.
wasn't on that one. Isn't this the one where you guys like punctured the butane thing or something to
Yeah,
start
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
fire?
The Coleman stove,
The
yeah,
Coleman
and then
stove.
we couldn't get it to work, so
Yeah.
I just put some Coleman fuel stove in an empty tuna can and I
my
threw it on top of
God.
the wood.
There's a fire.
Almost
We had a
started
little
forest
fire going, and he goes,
That's a signal fire. Get us out of here.
he was just gonna pour a little bit, but then it flamed up, and he dropped the
Oh
whole
my
can of tuna.
God.
So this
Well,
big
'cause
old
there was no
plume of
fire, it was just,
smoke and fire
just-
goes up. I go, I hope it
Yeah.
doesn't light the trees on fire, because we're in
Oh
serious.
my God, you guys.
Yeah, but
So
it
when
did, it
we
did it.
read that Frodo's journey takes a while,
guys can relate it.
know, so-
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
you guys
Right.
relate to it.
And it's, I guess so can Sally. I because they're going bushwhacking. That is scary though. That if you're going on that kind of a hike, and and not you, Sally and her friends probably didn't go with any kind of hunting tools or anything like that. So you couldn't go kill a deer or something. I mean, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Yep. Just got
So, all right. So going back to them hiking through for
Right.
days and days and days in
4
the
days.
dark.
4 days in Moria.
4 days in Moria with the only light. Okay, first of all, there's nothing in the books about them hitting the flask every so often,
Right.
right? Restore their
Of
energy.
Mirabora.
I didn't even know they had that
Yelling.
flask. I go, wow,
Yeah,
that's
like-
pretty good.
I was like going, wow, Gandalf. Here, have a
Where did
little
that
drink
come
out of
from?
my
My brother
brown
Gaffer's
bag.
brew. Yes.
Exactly.
I think
Remember
it
to
was
pour
more than-
out some for the elves that already left.
Sippy can testify to that nourishing energy that the flask gives to him.
But then at certain points, this is the part that I was tripping out on. It's pitch black because like Gandalf goes back to fight the people over there. Now they're running down the stairs, and it's.
Right.
I'm
Their only
sorry, I
light
almost
is
tripped down the
is
stairs
that.
in my house in the dark, and they're going down these stairs in Moria in the pitch black. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you guys? What
It's
did
not
you? How did
explained.
you? What did
They
you do
must
with
have,
that?
they must have had carrying torches. I mean,
It doesn't say
Did
anything
say,
about
yeah.
torches. They
I thought
had
it was only
Gandalf's
Gandalf's
flashlight.
Staff.
the staff
Yeah,
was the only
Gandalf's
light.
staff.
Yep, it's all
Yeah.
Gandalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was kind of surprised about that. I go, you guys are going into
Yes.
mine. You have no rope. You have no
No rope. As
torches.
Sam laments.
That's
Yes.
laments, yes.
Sam.
Sam and his
Oh,
rope.
wow.
Cool, that one's clean.
These guys are bad adventurers.
You know, if Boromir was going to get the ring, Frodo taking a fall in the mine
Yeah.
was the time his chance to do it.
Maybe you should
Yeah.
close it because Kai
Yeah.
thought it was
But
clean.
I,
Would've
I
been-
couldn't figure out the idea of like how are they seen? Because that was the thing. It's like it's pitch black. It's in the it's underground.
Were they
Yeah.
expecting to find sources of I mean,
When I first read it, I pictured Pitch Black, and it's like just that one his staff, and that's it. I'm thinking, oh my God, impossible task. Picturing this as an awful journey of 4 days of just terror because
Yes.
it is black, black, black. You can't see squat. You can barely see the ground in front of your feet because all they have is his staff.
well, in their
And
defense, they weren't really planning on going through
right,
Moria.
well,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's why every adventurer in every game since then has torches and rope.
That's what I'm saying.
And a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
10 foot pole.
I couldn't understand though, like as you're writing it, as Tolkien's writing that at that point, and he's talking about them traveling in pitch black under a mountain. There's no moon, there's no stars, there's no ambient light, anything. It's like
Right.
it's pitch. Did he never walk in pitch black?
Maybe he just I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't realize that they didn't have light. I
That was
always
what
thought they
that's
carried culture.
that's one of the
torches.
few points of the book where I was just like, I cannot figure out. Couldn't. Like I had nothing to
Yeah.
do with that.
The only one that would make me kind of, I mean, Aragorn really would surprise me. I don't figured of anybody, he would be the one being a ranger. That would
Right.
be, again. You know what?
And
We
he'd been
better-
in there before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if anybody had anything that I had missed there where it's like, and they went into the side room and they found the stores and they had the oil in the lamp and the,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
like I
mentioned.
say,
It's a
that's
miracle.
what to me made it that much a more epic journey, that portion that they don't
Yeah.
really make that big a deal of in the book. But to me, in my mind, and reading it the first time, and it didn't happen reading it this time, but the first time I read it, literally feeling this fear of the dark reading that.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think,
the chapter is called Journey in the Dark.
yeah,
Right?
I think that like along with the lake, I think that would have been a pretty epic scene if you wanted to do it in the movie where they're talking about like, yeah, in some of these, there's these giant windows that the dwarves built to let the light in.
Right. Yeah.
Right. If you would have done that at some point and come in and seen like these like 40-story high windows with the natural light coming into the side of the mountain, and it's like after 3 days, 4 days in the dark, it's like, wow, how many times did you trip and fall and like run into something?
Yeah. But I think that in a movie that loses translation big time with audiences, they want it would be like the walking scene. They go, "Oh, it's still walking," you know. It's like, well, how much of the kid are you going to show? You know,
They
Mm.
kind of
Lose
did
the
that.
initial-
They
lose
kind of
the
did that
initial
in
sense of wonder.
Durin's tomb, right? Where they had that slid in the
Yes,
window,
they had that one
and that
little
light,
sliver of light that
and
came
it
out,
was right onto
Yes.
the tomb, and it had
Right.
of Durin.
which was right out of the book too.
Yeah, yeah.
That was as a stream
Balance
safe.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
I
Durin?
need to get my shoes.
During
I think you're well, Durin the Deathless was I mean, he
Wasn't it
was the
his
last
tomb?
ruler, but I think you're talking about Balin, right? Who went back to establish the colony.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, right.
Sorry, scholar.
Balance
Sorry,
too.
scholar. I confused the dwarves.
Buzzard rings.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
I mean
good.
that's very poignant in itself, both in the book and the movie, but in the book, right? Because no one knows what happened to Balin's colony. I mean, they
Right.
got to be worried because basically, word from it's like, oh yeah, we're in here, we're starting to do stuff, and then radio silence. And
Right.
it's been 30 years, so I kind of think that nothing good is there, right? But just to get the to get the sort of confirmation, I think.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought that was kind of weird that they hadn't heard from him in 30 years and think, oh yeah, everything should be okay. I think.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
didn't make more of a big deal of that. They should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't ever really discuss that. I mean, it was, Dane was reluctant in the first place to allow Balin to go and
Right.
try to attempt to reestablish presence in Khazad-dûm. But maybe it's not really discussed, but maybe he's just like, okay, they went, we don't hear anything about them. No one's going back in there. I was super reluctant anyway,
Right.
And if you remember, Dane was the one who, after the Battle of Anza-Nobzara, of the War of the Elves, Dwarves, and Orcs, that's when they wanted to go in. Thrain's like, we should go in. We've destroyed the orcs, and Dane's like, no. Don't you reason there was a good reason why Moria is now in ruins is because something worse than orcs is in there, and we're not going in there. And
It's
now that he's
Durin's,
king, right?
it's Durin's Bane, right? That's what everybody
Yeah.
calls it.
Yeah,
They talked
yeah.
about Durin's Bane. There's something there. We don't know what it is, but there's something there.
Right.
And I think the book made a bigger point of that. And I think that there is a lot more of like, that's that grand that I like that you knew the amount of time it was like, oh, it's 4 days. Like and the whole time they're like, we don't know. We don't know. We're still hoping that they're going to be there. We're still hoping they're going to be there. It's like, whereas in the movie, it's like, this is a tomb.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're
exactly.
pretty sure everybody's dead here. Right.
But Gimli still held hope, right? Even until he saw the tomb.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he held hope, but at that point it's like, ouch, right? That's like,
Undeniable. Yeah.
yeah, it's undeniable. And so I think in the book it was kind of like, and like I didn't know anything about the war, like the killing the orcs, and it's like, no,
Right.
it's Durin's Bane. Nobody goes in there. There's a reason, like you were saying, there's no reason. It's like, fine. And like, how long do we wait? Forever. No, they went there, they bought a ticket, and it's like, wouldn't
I
you
told
set up a
him-
thing? If
I
you
told him
don't
not to
send
go.
somebody every year, we're gonna send somebody there. If we don't hear from you, then now
Apparently they didn't have that arrangement. Yeah, it
Right.
does seem weird, right?
Yeah.
right.
At least like I don't know how you could check up on them without having more people die.
But okay, so is this a symptom of our connected society that we would feel this way versus in the old days, hey, those people left Ireland to come to America, and then
That's
like
it.
20 years later we get a letter.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, hey, I'm living in California.
Mm.
Right. And it's like that whole
Yeah,
thing,
but-
whereas now it's like, I haven't heard from my kid in 20 minutes, a stalker.
No.
That's
Sometimes-
true.
Sometimes it can be years.
Sometimes convenient. Exactly. I mean, think about like just if you think about 100 years ago, well, maybe not 100 years ago, 'cause that was the 1920s. I hate to say, but 150 years ago in the 1800s, then I think you would have a different opinion of how believable it would be to live in that kind of society. Like
Right.
I'm thinking like Little House on the Prairie is the closest thing I can think of. Is you're out in the woods. Sure, you come into town maybe once a week.
Yeah.
And so I think people who are out in the wilderness, in the real wilderness, or really out in the front on a frontier
Frontier.
post. Yeah, how often would you hear from them or even send word to them?
I think they're one of the reasons why the United States having an official post service was because before then it's like, I write a letter and I wait until somebody's heading down to California and I say, this has got to get to Santa Clara, and they hand it to somebody, and they might hand it to somebody, and maybe sometime you get a letter, Saul.
I'll do it for $1.
Exactly. I couldn't find anybody who was willing to go to the Shire to take the letter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And so there's that different world that we live in where it's like, even now, it's like when we went to college, everybody, it's like, how often did you call your parents? It was 30 cents a minute,
Yep.
right? Long distance. And it's like, why are you calling?
Why are you
You
calling
make money?
collect? God damn it.
Right? A stamp is only 2 cents. Write a letter. This could have been a letter.
That's good.
Right?
Could have been a
And-
letter.
An email.
Ready to go?
Could have been an email. So like thinking
Okay.
about that. It's so maybe that's the thing where they're just like
Different-
going into there, but
different
then they're
mindset.
figuring out it's like, oh, I know where we are. We're
Yeah.
in this room, and now Gandalf's like, we got to go down the stairs, turn left,
Yeah.
do the thing, and now we're out.
We got to say adios because we've got a dinner date in about 3 minutes.
All right.
So
I think people got to
We
go
will-
anyway.
I think
see you guys later. This was a lot of fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Have fun.
Yeah, I actually have to go too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Have
good
a
night.
nice
It was a
night.
good fun, good times.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
ideas.
Wait, what are we meeting next?
Oh, that's not how this works.
Wow, dude. Come on, Cowie. Don't try
Wow.
to impose
Read
your
the
organization
room.
on
Whoa,
this. Whoa.
there'll be an email
So sorry.
and a text message.
What
Are we
about
thinking
you?
next Sunday,
Trying
though?
to, like,
Are we
when are you-
thinking next
control.
Sunday-ish?
Next Sunday-ish. How's that?
Maybe.
All right.
Cowie?
Next Sunday-ish,
I make no
Whatever.
commitments.
sometime
It's
between
fine, it's
3
fine.
and
He's on his
own
7.
schedule.
Welcome to my
It's all
world.
good.
They're all cats, Cowie. They're all cats.
I
This is like a- this is like a-
thoroughly chastised.
Have you ever talked to a Morales?
Whoa, don't blame this on me, buddy. Don't blame it on
If you
me.
get offered to be part of a Friday night
Okay.
gaming group, Don't,
So this is my first meeting, so I want to get a sense. Whenever we do meet, is it always Sunday?
No,
Okay.
it just worked for everybody. Another thing we have is called Discord. If you have thoughts, you can put some type them into there.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
I
a
saw
Discord?
that. And then my last
But
question.
Sunday is Sunday is kind of the
Yes.
weekly meeting,
It-
Callie.
Because it
Okay.
seems like it's available for everybody.
And then my last
until
question.
football season rolls around, then you will not see me at all.
Who
Get outta here.
says like
Yeah, well.
what's the next
Oh,
point?
We
Mike.
all do. It's
Mike,
just a
Mike is the
group-
authority here.
it's a group
Okay.
discussion.
I submit to
All
Mike's
right.
will.
It's
He's my
Fine.
Sauron.
it's by
I
committee.
don't care about structure. Who cares
It's
about
committee by
Alright.
cats.
no
It's
structure?
committee by cats.
Let's-
You gotta
let's-
let it go, Callie. You gotta let it go.
I've read the
You
entire
just gotta
trilogy.
let it
I
go.
can roll with it.
There you
Alright,
go.
Let it
let's-
go.
let's-
Don't rush it to a
Fine.
ticket to ride, right?
Also, I'm
let's-
just gonna have like just know that whenever we meet again, I will just cancel everything else that was on
Awesome.
my calendar for
Oh,
this.
Oh,
Wait,
No,
I'll wait
that's not how it
email.
works either.
let's
All
assume.
those people I'm saying I can't do it, I can't do it. So
Let's-
it may
And
or
then
may not.
we
yeah,
do
it's-
a diagram, triagram thing, and then where there's a nexus, that's the day we meet.
Let's
Okay,
assume that the next
that sounds
time is
great.
up to the point where they leave Lothlorien.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna lead up to next.
Sure, that
You know,
sounds like a good
up to
idea.
up to when they get in the boats and
Yep.
they're learning how to row boats for
Yep.
the first time because they're jerkies.
Have you read through Khazad-dûm or to Khazad-dûm? I only read to Khazad-dûm.
Oh, we can start there and go back.
I have
We-
a tip about
we
this
didn't
part
even
of the
discuss-
book.
Right.
You guys just
Eric?
tell me in the text. I gotta go.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Bye, Callie.
Bye.
Make
You
sure
guys
your
later then.
bookmark does not fall out. That was the reason that I didn't finish the book the first time I tried to read it.
That's my
What
dog.
happened?
My bookmark kept falling
Oh.
out every time I got to that spot. Like the third time it happened, I decided it was a sign from the universe.
Yep.
A sign from
Personally,
the
I think your
universe.
sisters were taking it out. But
That's why you use a locking key.
That's
all
right.
right. Or get those one of those nice things. You get a nice book that has the ribbon, and you can put the ribbon in there.
Ah,
Nice.
yes, nice.
Fancy.
That's
All right, good
nice.
times, guys. Are we?
All right.
Oh, yeah, we're
What?
not doing anything for 2 Fridays, right? At
2
least.
Fridays because you
because
you're
are
busy.
unavailable.
All right. All right.
We might
You going on
we
vacation?
might-
Girls basketball, soccer.
No, this week is
Graduation
McKenna's
night?
graduation. And then next week
Congratulations.
I have a conference down in California, actually, and then we're driving back up and seeing Tom and then straight to, but we will not be stopping in San Jose. So just so you know.
Thank you. I
that's
feel
too
loved.
bad. All
You can
right.
stop in
I feel-
Hillsboro.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
Hillsboro, I could do Hillsboro.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't
Okay.
find his house. They don't use street numbers or anything.
Yeah.
It's all vibe. Hillsboro
Yes.
says we're all about the
Yeah.
vibe.
It's
Yeah.
about the vibe.
Anyways,
Go
for
to the
Friday
large
night-
oak tree on the left.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Good night, guys. Good
All
times.
right.
All right,
Good
guys.
talking to you.
Bye,
I'll
brother.
see
Take
you
care.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.